Losing viewers. Losing viewers.
Where? Oh, hi everyone. Friend. Hold on, not my second screen.
My second screen.
Well, technically, I don't think so, but okay.
So let's tell all the new viewers, just in case anybody new here, what you do and how you got to this position.
Well, yes, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us on our second YouTube live video, which is really good. Oh, I'll tell you what, let me turn that down.
Turn that down.
Perhaps that's what the problem is.
Well, yes, hello everyone.
Is that better? It was me after all.
Trust you.
So thank you for joining us on our second YouTube live. It's a new venture for us at Bang Olufsen of Manchester. We are quite excited about this little different thing to do, I suppose, because we don't have a shop currently to go and play around in. So we are quite new to this, as John knows, but it was really good to see the results from last week, and thank you, Steve from Sounds Heavenly, for stepping up to the plate for the first one of the YouTube live commentaries. So thank you for joining us on a what is a windswept Manchester northwest evening in sunny England, or not so sunny England. But yes, here we go. So just a little bit about myself. Started the business with a couple of friends of mine who no longer are in the business, unfortunately, but back in 2008, where we took over a franchise from a company called H. Plum & Son, which were the largest Bang & Olufsen dealer in the world, based out of Wigan, of all places, at one point. Mr. Plum was a true retail legend, as you could best way to describe him, and he knew how to nurture people who were interested in retail, and that's ultimately what I started doing when I was. Go back now. I was 17 when I walked into a Plum store. I'm now 52. I know. I don't look it, but I am 52 years old, and it is all mine. And I know. So that 17 years old when I walked in, and I fell in love with the Bang & Olufsen products. I mean, literally, I walked in and I was I was blown away, and I've been ever since, really. And it's been a pleasure to serve people who love the brand and have brought into the brand over the years. I've seen many changes, some not so great changes, but mainly some wonderful products. And we've had some ups and downs. We've had lots of things happen to us. We had the riots, of course, back in 2011, which was a bit of a trying test for us all. But yeah, it's been a fun roller coaster, and I think hope you the people out there can appreciate that we have a really, really good relationship with all our customers who come into the store, and we have fun at the shop. It's not a normal retail outlet, I don't think, but it's still keeping professional and keeping it where Bang & Olufsen need to be, which is why we've won Deal of the Year 2 years on the run. Hopefully we'll be making Deal of the Year 3 years in the run. We'll wait and see.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Be very nice, wouldn't it?
A few shout outs from the comments. Of course, got the Wikipedia, being our lovely moderator. Steve from Sounds Heavenly has joined along. Good old Michael Fryland, he's in with us. Oh, we've got Big Willie Style from the Beer Tour podcast. Lovely Nikki's joined us. Sorry about the sound issues at the beginning.
That's me, sorry.
Internet issue on my side as well. Hopefully we're now coming through nice and clear. Andrea Lacey, I'm sure it's a familiar name to you.
It is. This is my lovely sister. Hello, Andrea, and welcome to Bang Olufsen Live.
So any questions you want to ask Neil Bossman, just pop them in the comments. I have got a bunch of comments from lovely BO Worlders that we can crack on with, and we've got a couple of things to talk about, haven't we, Ian?
We are, yes.
Shall we do the support centre first?
Yeah, we should really. So Bang Olufsen a few weeks ago launched something called the support centre. Now, John's got some slides on this, and we'll put them on so you can have a quick look at it. Something new from Bang Olufsen. And it's truly making us a different brand than other brands out there. It gives us the opportunity to be able to assist a client who is having problems with the network, with products, connectability, software issues, and we can do it remotely. So just by giving us permission to do this, we can go into the products that you have connected in your home, and we can interrogate them and find out what's happening. I've got to say, it's been quite a revolutionary change from my perspective, because I don't have to get in my car and drive out there just to see that something's wrong or I just need a software update. And I can just do it. We can amend things from a remote access. It's really, really clever, really good. Exactly where Bang & Olufsen need to be with the service element of it. So yeah, it's excellent. So
essentially we can dial in from home, from the store. We can dial into your product. We can see what software level you're running at, whether it's out of date, whether there's a new version to come. We can do things like open things for remote control pairing. We can do reboots. We can check your network infrastructure, check Wi-Fi signals. It is really, really quite clever. So whereas we used to have to go to our technical department to do this sort of thing, we can now just do it as we're on the phone to you. There's no waiting times. It's just immediate. It's really clever.
Yeah, it is, and it's been, they've been working on it for some time, and it's just so slick. It works. We can get online and get it sorted. I've just seen a comment, by the way, about my lovely moment here, and it's not a paperweight. It's a very cherished product. Doesn't get used as much as it did get used, but to be fair, as you can see, I am testing out the new product, the Balance, and I've got to say, wow, yeah, because we're sat at home doing twiddling our thumbs a little bit at the moment, and this is a product I just did not realise how good this was when we actually got it. It's absolutely stunning. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't had a try of one, and you want something that's going to go into home decor, it's sublime. Absolutely fantastic product. The way that it changes the direction with the beam control is just incredible. It really is. Pop into store and have a look at one.
Okay, I've got a question for you, Ian.
Oh, go on. Go on, first one.
23. Ian,
I don't dye my hair.
What do you think sets B&O apart from other audio brands when it comes to service and client engagement? Lovely question.
Right. Yeah, it's a very good question, and I've got a good answer for that, actually. Ever since I was going back to the 1980s, Bang & Olufsen have been the only brand in the world who have consistently improved the experience for people going forward, right? And I go back to when we had the Bang & Olufsen 7802 and now on the 8902. Now this was a stereo TV. So this is going way back, okay? And this was a stereo TV. The only way you could get stereo was to get a VHS player with stereo in it, okay? And then the BBC, etc., brought out NICAM stereo sound. John, what does NICAM stand for?
Near instantaneous compounded audio multiplexing. Boom.
Good girl. So they brought out NICAM stereo sound in the UK, and Bang & Olufsen were the only company to go back to every single one of their customers and say, would you like, there's a charge, but would you like your expensive Bang & Olufsen TV to be updated? Everybody else was saying, well, just go buy another TV. But Bang & Olufsen didn't do that. And that's been the case for so many developments. Take the Beoplay V1, the TV. Well, the Beoplay V1 was out for 12 to 18 months. and it literally and it wasn't a smart TV, okay, and it had a software update, and it had BBC iPlayer added to it. It became a smart TV, and that was free of charge. Now, no other brand does that, and that's really important to me. And that's one of the things that Bang Olufsen always strive. Very difficult to actually prove it to people and actually show them, but you really can see that it makes a difference. Oh, that's the question.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, nice. How is the? Can you just let me know in the comments how the audio is coming in? Because I seem to be getting a few issues here. Oh, looks better.
I can't hear anything apart from you, John.
Yeah, well, that's the best way. Right, okay, let's do some Beer World comments.
Oh, I see my niece has joined us, Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello, Rebecca.
Yeah, lovely niece. My favourite.
Right, okay, something from Beer World, Dicegard. Question regarding future updates to Beer Vision Eclipse. Any chance that Eclipse will get metadata info and audio mode like the latest Harmony update? So I know for those who don't know, or those who have a Harmony have probably found out, the update for the metadata on the screen around the speaker panels has now been released. So Buzz isn't doing that, update your software. I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility for them to update the Eclipse. I've had no official word that they're going to do that. I don't know, to be honest, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it.
Well, I don't think there's a secret, John, that there is an Eclipse improvement thing going to happen this year, but whenever that's going to be, we just don't know. It's unfortunately, with all the stuff going on in the world at the moment, things have been put back somewhat. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. But we've still got. I said the Eclipse to me is. In fact, I own an Eclipse. I won't take you to the front room. I've got teenagers lying down in there. So
yeah,
no, don't go through there. So yeah, the Eclipse to me is still the TV to beat. I do love the Harmony, but I don't really have the wall to put it on. So and 55 is probably the biggest I've got in my front room. So yeah, so for me, it's still the TV to beat, really. So.
Yeah, okay. Bossman, I said, are you wearing both earphones? You're getting a bit of feedback from it. Yes, you are.
Both earphones. Do you want me to sit further back?
No, you're fine. You're fine. I've turned you down a little bit. Normally the best way.
That's not very good, is it?
Question from Michael. Is Bossman Ian more a stereo guy or a surround guy? Harmony or Eclipse? Eolab 17 or Beolab 18? Now, I'm going to answer for you on the first one. I think you'll say you're more of a surround guy. I think you just appreciate the wow bang of surround more than your stupid speaker 4.
100%. And speaker 4 is the future. We have a running battle in the shop, by the way, everyone.
Yes, we do.
I keep setting the speaker 4 option up as being front left, front right, front left, right, rear. Anyway, so and I'd love to demonstrate it, and people go, "Oh, that's really nice. We'll have one of those." And John goes, "That's rubbish. You can't demonstrate stereo like that." So no, it doesn't really work. So no, it's so that's an interesting one. I would say BLab 17s. I think the 18s look the part, but the 17s I just think deliver such an amazing sound for the small package. And everyone's got space for the 18s. I think if you want to show that I've got a pair of speakers, then put the 18s in. But I think the 17s are really lovely. What was the middle question again, John?
Harmony or Eclipse?
Eclipse for me.
Really?
Eclipse, yeah, still Eclipse. Oh, I've got an Eclipse.
It's beautiful, I keep thinking, thing, but harmony's a harmony.
I know, but it's just that movement.
It
just wax on, wax off, wax off, wax off.
Okay.
No, I get it, and there's going to be improvements on both. I've got to say, I do like the new finishes they brought on the Harmony. I think those. I can't wait to see those in the flesh. The brass and the bronze.
Yeah.
In the little signature things in the wood. I think that's going to be beautiful. So anyway, can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So and the other one he asked was BLab 9 or BLab 20, and why?
Oh, BLab 9.
Really?
BLab 20's,
again?
BLab 20's just got a little light on the top. I don't get it. Yeah. To be honest, if I was in the market for a Beerlab 20, I've potentially got the money to just go. Oh, I'm just going to go for the 50s. So it's just going to be. Oh, should we go? Should we just get the bigger one? Because I'm a sucker for the nice dangly shiny stuff. So and then the speaker coming up and down. So yeah, I'll go for the 50s.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would substitute the 20s and go for the 50s.
A question from See Through You. I'm contemplating buying a new Beersound core. Now there is talk of 10 to 12 new products. Should I hold fire on the core? Firstly, I don't know where the 10 to 12 new products come from.
Tell us, please. Tell us,
please. There probably will be new products, but I obviously can't tell you anything.
Well, as you know, John, we as dealers, we get to go and see the products a long way in advance before products are actually launched. But we are signed under confidentiality, so we don't talk about them. I assure you, there's not 10 or 12 new products. There may be over a year or so, but Bang & Olufsen are very busy bringing out some pretty amazing equipment. So there is one product. I'm not going to say what it is. There is one product that's going to be launched before the summer, which I think is going to be amazing. But I'm not going to say what it is.
Yeah, please.
I've actually seen it and heard it. It's like,
please don't.
Buy one. Well, I can't because I'm under confidentiality.
And this will be the last live stream ever.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I won't be doing that. Then again, if I have another bottle of wine in an hour, you never know.
Good evening, Michael Farland, back in the chat. Danker23, is there anything missing in the product lineup right now? What do you think?
Oh, anything missing?
I think we're more solid on the product lineup now than we have been for quite a long time.
Yeah, to be honest with you, and I know you're going to hate me for this, John, but I think we should have more headphones.
Really?
Yeah, because headphones are the driver. Headphones right now. Headphones are the driver.
It's a younger demographic, isn't it?
It is, and we need to be appealing to that. I mean, look at the news that Bang & Olufsen did just a few weeks ago. They've got past how many E8s?
1 million.
1 million E8s.
Yeah.
Now, on this piece of information that Bang & Olufsen shared with us, they said that they were going to launch something in the region of 50,000 to 80,000 in a year, and they've done 1 million. They only plan to do 50 to 80,000 units.
Yeah.
I mean, it is absolutely mind-boggling. And if you can get into the mindset of people out there that Bang & Olufsen is a brand to buy, then you'll get customers of the future. There's no better advertising. So, yeah, for me, at the moment in time, more and more headphones. And a more, rather than colour, I like the seasonal colours. I get that the fashion and the browns, they do look really nice. But I'd rather have more different products, more regular or more updates, so that we don't have a 12-month or a 2-year, 18-month shelf life. It's more of a fashion. If it is a fashion thing, because it is, it should be updated quicker, for my opinion.
Yeah. Most folks in the comments says a turntable. That would be nice. A turntable would be nice, but
yeah, it would.
I can't see it happening.
Well, I Bang & Olufsen a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago now, announced that they wanted to become the one of the world's leading audio brands, and I think we are one of the world's leading audio brands. But it wants to be dominant within the marketplace. And realistically, how can they do that without a turntable? Got to ask the question. It's like if you want to be audio, there are people out there, and it's not me, right? I'll say this now. I can't tell the difference, okay? But there are people out there like John who really, really like his turntable. Me? Nope, don't get it.
I like the sound of especially old original vinyls.
It's the same sound.
It's not.
It is.
The new ones are more so the same because it is a digital file pressed onto vinyl. But the old ones that are proper analog. They kind of sound nice.
Sorry, are you talking analog again?
I like the theatre of it. I like getting an album with the big cover art, and I like getting it out and popping the stylus down. And I just like the drama of it. And I think a turntable is a beautiful looking thing.
Deezer, play. Beautiful.
Luddite.
It's instant music. Play. Bang. I need it down. I need it straight away. This is the difference, John. It's like I'm down with the kids and you're not.
Oh, this is a great question from Roger Dawn.
Oh, go on.
Here we go.
Go on.
Strap yourselves in. In all your time as a B&O dealer / enthusiast, has there been any products where you have thought, maybe this isn't their finest offering? DVD 1 from way back springs to mind as a clanger. DVD 1 is an excellent shout. Yes.
I can't possibly comment.
DVD 1.
HDR2.
Oh,
HDR2.
Yeah. DVD 2, was it? DVD 2.
HDR2. I've got another one for you, John. Be a Media 1.
BO Media. At the time, it was kind of clever, but when you look at it now with modern eyes, it was.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's of its time. I think one of the biggest things with Bang & Olufsen is sometimes they try and do. They try and write the software for the world, and there are companies out there with far bigger teams making the software, and so it's a bit like the. I think you were talking about it last week about our little friend here, and how it's not on the music streaming service, the B&O app as such, and you Google cast to it. But I get it. It's not, if people are not using the facility and they're using Apple AirPlay, and then let's use someone else's perfectly good products, software to generate what we need to do. Yeah. And instead of trying to rewrite the world on things.
Well, we've successfully divided the chat. We have good old Steve from Sounds Heavenly. We've got lovely Nikki, and we've got we've got quite a few who love vinyl, and then we've got the likes of you and Michael.
Why?
And we've got Marion Dukes is on our side, but no, we've got a few there who just prefer Deezer. And outrageous.
Right, I'll tell you the story now, okay, guys. We have a turntable in the shop, okay, and it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. It looks the business. I don't know how to turn it on.
No, he doesn't. He's not allowed.
I've never switched it on.
You're not allowed
John
to
says,
touch it.
"What are you doing touching that?" I says, "Well, your customers listen to it." It's, no. You just take it over, and it's like I've never switched it on in 2.5 years, and I'm quite happy with that.
Oh,
it's not fun for me, that.
That's a good one from Willie. Do you remember BeoLink PC?
Oh, yes, yeah. It looks like a BeoLink Active.
Yeah, it's like setting up.
I do, yes, yeah.
Like setting up a space shuttle.
I would argue that the BeoLink Gateway, the original BeoLink Gateway, which happens to have one here.
Oh, God.
Weirdly. Yeah, was just as bad. As a space shuttle.
Yeah, that was. I mean, as a first endeavour, it was clever, but
yeah, exactly. But as I said before, it's about writing software and actually being able to dovetail into other devices and make it work with other devices. And I think this is one of the big shouts that Bang & Olufsen have tried over the years. Is they've really, really tried to get the product to work successfully with other brands that they need to work with, such as Control 4, Crestron, etc., and Lutron. And it's really important that the people out there can see that it's not this brand just saying, well, you only can buy Bang & Olufsen because it's only Bang & Olufsen. We are a brand that will interact and connect to other devices now, and connect very well.
I've got John. Have you got a turntable? Oh, that's my dad. That's right, John Williams. That's familiar. It's my dad. Yes, you know very well. I've got a turntable. I've got your turntable. It's a Revolver SEE with a Lin Basic arm. So yes, I do have a turntable. Why? Hey, there's more people ganging up with you. Andrea prefers instant play. Jenny, you traitor. I'm on Ian's side. Sorry, John.
Yeah.
Betrayed me.
She wants to get paid, so yes, she's got to be on my side.
Good old Steve. Steve's fighting the fight. All his old 80s pop records from local bands that never became famous. There you go, see?
Yeah, there's a reason they never became famous, because they weren't very good. They made a couple of vinyls printed in the dad's garage, and that was it.
Yeah. See, most of us gets it. Most of us. Bossman Ian, you're missing the point about turntables. It's the interactivity of it and ritual. Absolutely right, my friend.
What ritual? Should listen to the music.
You'll never understand.
I don't want to fall asleep. As I say, I've got my friends over, a few bottles of wine, and should we listen to music? Yeah, I'll just get my vinyl out. And they're sat there going, is he really doing this? Yeah, I'm just finding this album. Give me half an hour. I want to listen to this album. 50 minutes later, I'm nearly there. Oh, I found it. And you pull it out, it's the wrong album in it. Come on, John.
Yeah, you
do that.
You are the most impatient man in the world. I've got another question from Inner World. What kind of setup does Bossman Ian have at home, and what are his favourite products?
Right, setup at home. I tend to. I'll be honest with you. I never buy anything. I just take it from the shop.
Yeah.
So it does, but then it's my stuff at the shop. So I tend to rotate quite a bit. I have a TV. I have an Eclipse at the moment, which is my best TV I've ever owned. The wall behind it looks like a Swiss cheese. It's been that many different brackets have been on there. Really shouldn't hang anything else on there. It's a bit iffy. So that's quite good. And I'm not allowed to have speakers. The lovely Samantha, who must be in bed at all times, doesn't do speakers, doesn't do loud. So I do loud and speakers at the shop. So yeah, it's so the Eclipse, and we have a room that I'm in at the moment in time, which is towards the rear of the property, and I listen to my music and stuff in there really, as and when. Quite into the headphones of late. H9s, the third gens are just incredible. Depends, but I tend to use these units here because if I go to the gym, I know you're all thinking, how can he possibly go to the gym because he doesn't need to, but I do. The E8 Motions are just amazing headphones, so really good. Yeah. I'm pleased with those. And there's got to be other variations of the third gen coming out, so hopefully we'll see those in the near future.
Okay, we've got Julian Minnenberg. Does the upgrade program still apply to Avant TVs? Yes, I believe so. They're still updating their Avants.
Yes, yeah. I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah. It's a question. I'm in negotiation with Bang Olufsen at the moment in time to try and get some form of representative from Bang Olufsen, the service side of things. Is that something that you guys would like to see someone who can talk to you about how things can be, fixed and repaired and other bits and bats? Is that something of interest, or is it just something we should do a video on? I would like to know, because I think services new products are very nice, but I would like to see some of the service element taken care of as well, so people have contact numbers and they can do that. So I'm not sure if it's something for the live chat, but it's something I think we should do for a video going forward.
One from Joe. Remember the rules, don't say the word. Will B&O survive the crisis that we're in right now financially? I really hope it will. So do we, Joe. I think we'll be fine. We've got interesting plans coming from Bang & Olufsen in the next few days. Ian, is your phone up again?
No.
I can hear an echo. We have got a plan coming in the next few days for Bang & Olufsen's plan for the coming year. So we're looking forward to hearing that. We'll hopefully be able to talk about that more in depth next week. I will hopefully have. Shall we tell them now?
Can do.
Yeah.
Me and Jasper have arrived.
Next week, hopefully, we will have two quite important people from Bang & Olufsen on the live chat, on the stream, on the live stream. So I'll tell you more about that next week when the time's coming. But we'll talk about plans for the future with them on next week's show.
Yeah, because it's an important. 1 second, put Jasper down. It's an important. It's an important time for Bang & Olufsen right now.
Yeah, it is.
The new CEO Christian, who took over before Christmas, has inherited it's certainly not a struggling company, but it's a company that's had some challenges over the last couple of years, and the COVID-19.
I knew you'd do it. I knew it.
The crisis that we're in now is just one of those challenges. And it's going to be an interesting time for everyone, quite frankly. But I've got to admit, when I met the guy, I thought he was very, very, came across very, very well. He has a plan that he's been working on for the last 2 or 3 months, and he presented that to the board this week. We will find out ourselves what that would be. We were planning to go to a conference in Denmark next week to find out what the plan is, but obviously that's not going to be the case now. So they'll be announcing it to us, so we'll know the plan, and then once we know the plan, we can have a chat to you about the plan.
Yeah,
and then we have a plan.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but you know, it's encouraging that that this guy's come on board, and he has some history with doing some successful relaunches of brands and bringing brands up to the fore again. There's a few. If you look at his profile, you'll see which brands we're talking about. Some quite big hitters. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to seeing what the plan is, and I think we'll be fine. I know that thanks to John, Jenny, and Simon and Kevin, our installer, we have a strong team with Bang Olufsen of Manchester, and we're all committed to getting through this and getting through to the side. Whilst it might be a bit frustrating sitting at home doing nothing, John goes to Manchester and sits and does nothing, so it's fine. So yeah, in terms, I hope to answer your question in a roundabout kind of way. That there is a plan. And it is going to be actioned. It's going to. We're all going to get behind it. There's been some challenging times, and we'd love to see Bang Olufsen back where it really should be, which is a brand that people are so passionate about. And what I did when I walked into the store, all them years ago, was that, wow, this is incredible. That's what we want. More of that.
Yeah, interesting question. Did products like multi-room collection, Beer Sound 1289, bring a younger customer base into the store? Kind of, yeah.
Yes, they do, but I don't think they were designed to do that. I think the Bluetooth products did more of that.
Yeah, there's more the play, or what used to be the play range.
The play range, and I think that was a good. It was a good lead on for people, really, and I think it was a nice thing to see that product, and it's still very relevant in the portfolio. Although we don't do the numbers that we did previously, but because the rise of the online shopping giant that begins with A.
Yeah.
So you've got other things that will the products are available from, and I get that it is available on these other lines because it gets the brand out there.
Yeah.
Because the young person that buys the headphones or the A1 or the BL17 or the P2 is your Beer Sound 1, Beer Sound 2 customer of the not too distant future when they've gone and started the job after university, etc., and they want to develop the Bang Olufsen, the passion that they've developed early doors. You've got to have a growth map with them, haven't you? So
yeah. Question from Willie. I sort of answered this on last week's show with Steve, so I'll let you field this one, Ian.
Go on.
How do you feel about Beer-Link being done with, and it now being Chromecast and AirPlay 2 only?
Well, it's an interesting one. It took me about 20 seconds to decide this. I don't really care.
Yeah, I said the same last week. Yeah,
it's when you look at the right, Bang & Olufsen have a really clever bit of software, and they get reports back from products about how they are. They've had this for a few years now, which is how they're behaving and how they're performing. And I remember the conversation we had with a Beer Vision. I think it might have been Beer Vision 11, and there was a HDMI socket at the back of the Beer Vision 11, and input 5. And Bang & Olufsen on the Mark II version decided to take it off. And all the dealers went, "Oh, that's a bit strange. Why have they done that?" And the answer was quite simple. There was only 4 people in the entire country that ever used it. Because they had a feedback saying, well, how many times they'd actually used? This is 4 or 5 times, tops in the year. So why have it then? So get rid of it. It's not needed. It's an extra expense. You don't need it anymore. If you when we go, because what part of the service, what we do as a handover is we install a system and we then go back out to the client and hand over the product to the system, to the customer. So they have a proper understanding of how the product's being used, because we don't want them to buy technology that they can't use. And we have a very quick discussion with them as what's the service content you would like to do? Oh, I'd like to use Spotify. I'd like to use Apple Music or Deezer. And how would you want to connect to your product? Well, I'll AirPlay with it because they're used to using AirPlay. Or I'll do this Chromecast thing. That's very good. And you think, okay, fine, but we have got the app and and almost the app's in third place. It's literally just been put to third place already. So we're already having these discussions live with people when we're handing over the new systems, and that's how they're preferring to use it, because that's what they've got in their hand. They like Apple, they like how they do it. It works. If it's not broken, don't bother fixing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's not that I don't care, but I don't really care. Yeah. It's not made any difference to my enjoyment of this product here.
No, we just change the way we demonstrate products and the way we talk about the products in shops and in customers' homes. It's just we talk about them slightly differently. If you've got Apple, use AirPlay. If you've got Android, you generally use Chromecast. Job done.
Job done.
I will be making a video on just how to do Chromecast and set up groups, and how to do AirPlay 2 and how to do the multi-room. So that will be coming when I can.
If I let him back in the shop.
He lets me back. Yeah.
I think one of the bigger things as well with this is that, and John did a video on this a couple of weeks ago about the stereo pairing of the Balance and the BSN ones. I mean, you put a pair of BSN ones. Now, the BSN ones are very nice products, but it's not, doesn't have a lot of power. It's a bit like a BL11 as a woofer. It's very nice, but it's not great. It's just good. But everyone puts it next to BSN 2 and you go, I'll have the 2, please. Okay, so you buy BSN 2. Now you put 2 BSN 1s together in stereo pairing mode, and it's simple to set up when you do it. And it's incredible, absolutely incredible. It's better than a pair of Lab 6000s, and we've been moaning about not having a replacement for that for years. Well, we've got a replacement. Just use a Google Chromecast and it works.
Yeah, it's perfect.
If you haven't heard it and you are passing a Bang Olufsen store, certainly has, you go and have a listen to it. It's absolutely incredible. I know you go and buy 2 of the things, not one of them, but if you want to be serious about music, you want a stereo pair of speakers, don't you, John?
Yeah.
Not a single speaker.
Yeah.
So,
what's your next dream speaker from Bang & Olufsen in the future? It kind of already exists, BL90. It's hard to see going up from there.
No, to be honest with you, I'll tell you what my dream is. In all seriousness now, a dream speaker without a input for a turntable. Yeah, get rid of that. You don't need it.
Okay, another question. Where's the best place in the UK to get a BeoCenter 9000 serviced? You might struggle with parts, but I'll put my email address in the comments if you email me.
Yeah, I think it depends if it's a Mark 1 or Mark 2 or Mark 3.
Yeah.
Mark 3, you still can get some parts. There's John Briggs at Merlin AV, which is the guy that we use. He's absolutely fantastic. He's based out of Nottingham. And you can drop him an email. I'm sure he'd be able to tell you if you've got the serial number of the product.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just reach out to us. We'll try and help out. No problem.
I've left my address in the comments, so just send me an email. I'll pass you on to John, who will sort you out.
Because currently we don't have an awful lot to do.
No.
Love to help, can you?
Kim Williams.
Anything like that.
Kim Williams, my wife. Love your doggy.
No, John. The long-suffering.
Long-suffering.
Kim Williams.
Love your doggy. Can you persuade John to get one? Kim, pipe down. No.
John's got a cat.
Oh, 2 cats.
2 cats. Dogs and cats don't do.
No.
Yeah,
exactly.
Jasper is a he's a miracle dog. He's really good. He's our little bundle of fun. I was told he was going to be the size of a Rottweiler when he grew up, but it didn't happen. Just ended up being him.
Most of us, as much as the internet products frustrate me, I would be heartbroken if B&O folded up hold it up. It has a unique place in consumer electronics and in people's hearts. So that's very sweet. And you're right, it does. It is.
I think you're right, Musfuzz. I think you're absolutely spot on. Yeah, that's spot on. And we would be sorry because John would be unemployed and we'd have nothing to talk about on YouTube.
Yeah. It's the world's oldest AV brand. It's got to. It's just we've got more history than anyone in AV.
Yeah, I mean, no one has a crystal ball. At the end of the day, Bang Olufsen is a public listed company, and it can be bought out by somebody for a price if the price is correct. The people that own the shares, I don't own the Bang Olufsen shares, but the people that do own the shares and have a say in that have got the right to do what they want to do with it. But it still has its core values ultimately, and the Olufsen family still are key to that, and they still have a say in what's going on really. So yeah, it's still the brand that it was. It may not employ as many people as it did, but and it may have a few more factories around the world. But then Apple don't make anything in California, do they?
No.
So. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. The brand I don't think will go away. It will change. But then, and this is one of my favourite mantras, John. Retail does what? Nothing but change all the time.
Constantly.
And if you don't change,
you're out the door.
Yeah.
Hey, John and Ian. I've been wondering for a while if there are any sources. John and Ian, I've been wondering for a while if there are any sources where one can read more about B&O's history, such as a book. Would be lovely to know the brand more than by buying products. Yes, there is. The last one was called, I think it was Art of the Impossible. And there are one or two very thick sort of coffee table books that you can probably buy on eBay and things like that are very, very well made. They're very nice. But yes, you can.
Yes. You can get some of these on the internet. People do sell them. They're a bit of a collector's item. So they do bid for various amounts of money. But they are really, really good read. And it properly goes into the history from way back to the 1920s, all the way through the war period when the factory was bombed, going back to when Bang & Olufsen made ladies' shaving products. Everything, headphones going back to when Dr. Dre was still an embryo, a long time ago. Some really old products, which is interesting. If you ever get a chance to go to Denmark to Struer and see the amazing museum they've got there to Bang & Olufsen, it just has everything there. It's incredible. So yeah, that's. But the book, again, if you drop John a line, I can't promise anything, but we can certainly try and get hold of some of these if we can. I think there was talk about an update for one coming.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, but it'd be nice to see one. And then if it's something we can do for you, then we can try and supply it, because it is a brilliant coffee book table. It's big old thick book. It's really good.
What was your funniest? I'm not sure we can answer that. What's your funniest story with a client in the store?
Not really in the store. Let me think. Okay, so I was when we first opened the store back in 2008. We had he was an elderly gentleman at the time. I don't think he's with us anymore, but he was a bit of a character, and he bought an Avant TV off us, which, as you know, historically had the clock at the top right-hand corner in the unit, and he called me out for a service call, and I trotted out, and he said, "Oh, a bit upsetting." I said, "What's the matter? What's the matter, George?" He says, "Oh, this clock on this TV set's wrong." I says, "Oh, are you sure, George? It's wrong. Look, it's wrong. Mantelpiece, that clock on the mantelpiece there, never let me down in 40 years, and it's 2 minutes slower." All right, okay, so I'll go make your brewing. Can you sort it out? I said, "Yeah, of course I can, George." So I went to his mantelpiece and changed the clock on his thing on the mantelpiece, and then I fixed it, George. There you go. That's my funny little story.
Brilliant.
You didn't laugh, John.
I rarely laugh at you.
I thought that was funny on the cuff, you know.
I tend to laugh. I tend to feel laughing at you.
Don't say laugh at
you.
No.
Yeah. I'd love to know. I'd love to know how Richard is coping during the lockdown. Richard is a stupid little dummy. It started off with a headphone video, and I was using him to. It's a little white dummy head. If you're not sure, I've not used him for a while, but I might start putting him in as cameos in the background. It'll be a spot Richard for the hardcore fans. I like that.
Poor Richard.
Yes, he's self-isolated in Manchester, bless him.
Yeah, he's not doing well, but there you
go. People are saying about shaving my beard off. Don't worry, a deal is a deal. And I've promised next time I come back with Steve, we're doing a beard swap. Steve will have a beard, I'll be bald, clean shaven.
How many viewers have you got, John?
At the moment?
Yeah.
57.
57? Okay. Well, we've got a bit to go, haven't we? That's good.
We've got 10 minutes left, so get your questions into the comments if you've got any burning questions for me or Bossman Ian.
Anything at all?
Do you think that the lack of physical media has in some ways compromised the creativity aspect of the products? Ooh, that's an excellent question. It kind of has. In a way, because the main thing with the BFSound 9000 was showing the CD art like you would with vinyl.
Yeah.
It's like when went from vinyl
that
to
was
CD.
David Lewis's design statement, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the BFSound 4 where you could see things in the 3200 and so I suppose it's just changed, hasn't it? I think we're making more. You're more free to do now because you haven't got a load of CD making. Anything could be almost any shape. Depending on the acoustics of it.
I would throw that question back a little bit and say, look, 9000, yeah, great. It was there, the launch of it. BSM 4, their launch of that. It's been the launch of everything, to be honest with you. Yeah, it was very, very good. But how do you create a hi-fi system for the modern age? Okay, now we had a halfway house with the BSM 5. Storage facility, worked quite well, looked really good. You've got a physical element to it as well. But even the BSM 5, with the greatest one in the world, and I hate to go back to knocking the turntables again, that's your hi-fi system. And that's what people have gone to. Yeah. So unfortunately, the world has changed and the world's moved on. We have these devices, and that's how most people, 99.9% of people, get the music. And it's not perfect. It's not great. It's compressed and all the rest of it. It's not vinyl, but that's how most people listen to it. And you've got to try and appeal to the majority, not the minority. And it's lovely to think we'll do a turntable, but how many would we sell? I think we sell a few, but I won't sell that many. And we don't make products for the purposes of not selling them. Yeah. So. If I kick the question back and say, look, realistically, how would you, as a consumer out there, design a hi-fi system that doesn't have any physical
media
function, media? It doesn't.
Musford makes a good point. It's. I kind of agree with him that you kind of lose the ta-da aspect. The ta-da!
Well, you do.
You do. Glass opening, and it's harder to do that now.
Well, the Harmony does that, John.
You got Harmony.
And I would say that anyone who walks into a home that has a shape installed has got exactly that effect.
Yeah, it's kind of a different. It's a different ta-da effect.
Yeah. Because you name any other brand, any other product that can come close to having that experience on the hi-fi system that Shape does. No, it's not. There's nothing out there. Yeah, there isn't anything out there. You could say the same thing about an A9 with a skinny play cover. Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Which is why it's their design classic icon that they love so much. So.
Another one from Beer Worlds. I'm considering getting a core and wondered what fellow Beer Worlders make of it several years down the line. Is it enjoyable, mature, and reliable product? Yes, it is. It's very evolved. It's very solid. We get very, very few problems. and it is a very mature, well-established product. So yes, the core is a winner.
Cool. Yeah, but again, going back to the physical element, it's a circular box.
Yeah, it's a box. Yeah.
It's not really inspiring, is it? Really, but it sounds amazing. It just does. So, no.
Can a call be connected to BLR50 via optical? I believe so. Any thoughts on different connections or sources to maximise the benefit of BLR50? As long as they're wired and your incoming music, what you're inputting into it, is high quality, you're golden. As long as you're not playing a cheapy lead with wireless or something like that, or you're playing 128 kilobits iTunes, then you're good.
Now, Mike's put a comment on there. I've looked down for a change because I'm looking up about, is the shape under promoted? Interesting, Mike. Promoting costs such a lot of money, and how do you spend your budgets to actually promote a product that if you show it to most people, they won't understand what it is until they physically see it. So it's a really difficult thing to actually promote. Because it doesn't stand out as a look. This is a hi-fi system with pair of speakers. So yeah, really interesting promoting products and how they talk about products in the marketplace. Bang & Olufsen are getting much better. They have a great guy called David in the UK who does a sterling job for us with the marketing and the media here, and it's just, I don't know. It's an interesting one. How do you market? How do you market a new product to the masses without spending £5 million doing it? Realistically, Bang & Olufsen haven't got the budget at the moment in time to go on TV. Radio, don't particularly rate it very much. So selling audio products, it's quite a visual thing with our products. Paper advertising.
Yeah.
And then you've got John, who quite frankly gets more hits than most of everything, to be honest with you. So thank you for that as well. Obviously, I'd get more hits if I was the main man on the channel, but
obviously. You have to give me a chance.
Good at saying. Yeah, occasionally. Trouble is, I don't think people understand my northern accent.
No, that's true.
Yeah. You're from Stoke.
It's kind of an odd question. Are being aware of concerns customers have about their software and recent products? Fair enough. And the customer service in recent years. Now, I suppose we only see the customer service from our store's point of view, and we always try and make it best we can. Because we don't deal with Bang & Olufsen customer service as such, because we are the customer service as far as our customers are concerned. So I can't really answer that one, but
perhaps I can. Perhaps I can a bit, John. If you, as the store owner, if someone's purchased a product from me or they purchased it from someone else and it comes on my desk to try and sort out the issue, I will endeavour to try and sort out the issue. For me, it's an opportunity. If that customer has had a bad experience at another store, or they've had a bad experience at my store, if I can go the extra mile and really, and you know I do this, and to go the extra mile and spend the time to get them back on board, that's the big win for me. It's lovely to sell new products, don't get me wrong, but to get a customer who was disenchanted with a product because they've had a bad experience with it, and then to come back into the brand, is keep buying the products. That's where we win the customer loyalty.
Yeah,
and that's really the big plus for me. That.
Yeah.
So I think if you answer your question quickly, it's about how you're dealt with by the people you're dealing with. We would like to think all Bang & Olufsen dealers do the same, but I don't know.
B&O needs to appeal to the traditionalist clients, but also has to be innovative with new technologies and new ideas. It's quite hard to achieve. That's absolutely right. That's a fine balance.
It is.
That's really difficult.
It is. And a lot of people say about the design of the David Lewis era. I loved a lot of the stuff that David Lewis did, but I do love a lot of the stuff that the new designers are doing. Stuff like the shape. I mean, I think this thing amazing. Some people, it looks like a lamp. No, it doesn't. It's an audio system. It's an incredible bit of kit, and it's you've got to. The form of a product has got to give a little bit of kudos to how it works. So it's not just like make that. Bang Olufsen design a product, make it look nice as well.
Yeah. A good point from Joe. The problem with Bang Olufsen is that the products are too good quality-wise. Everybody is buying second-hand because they don't break. We do come across that. Yeah, we do come across that. And
but John, we don't use second-hand.
Pre-loved.
Been loved by somebody.
We do see a lot of pre-loved and getting some people to change even their old
second-hand
CRT Avance. Sometimes they just will not replace them because they're still running, they're still fine.
I'm glad they don't want to replace them, quite frankly, because they're too heavy to pick out the people at homes.
Right, I think we'll wrap it up.
How many have we had?
I won't see until the total number till we finish. It's not all about the numbers, Ian. Just enjoy yourself. It's not about numbers.
No. Hold on. Did I do more than Steve last week?
So far, I don't think you did. Steve's the winner.
Right. Right, okay. All I can say is next week's is going to be much, much better.
Next week.
And I won't be in it.
Yeah. I'm a bit nervous about next week.
Yeah, well, you should be, because it's a three-person conversation next week. That's going to be interesting.
It is.
When are you going to tell everyone who it is?
I'll announce it on YouTube next week after the weekend, and I'll give you more information then when it's all confirmed with the time, because I'm not entirely sure of time. It might change, so hopefully it'll stay in the same slot.
Steve, it sounds heavenly, saying ha 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 ha.
And so he should. Steve's an interesting dude. He's my good friend, and he did an excellent job last week.
I didn't watch it all. I fell asleep halfway through.
I won't have you saying that about Steve. He's a ledge. Right, chaps.
Right.
Thank you, everybody that came along.
Yes.
Thank you for getting involved. Thank you to my good friend, Bossman Ian, for being my second victim, good friend. I did promise I would let my two biggest fans just say hello, because they've been hassling me. Say hello, girls. Hello. There you go. Are you happy now? Right, we're done. That's it. So thank you all for joining me, and we'll see you all next week.
Thanks all.
Bye-bye.
Oh, is that one then?
Wait, because this is really embarrassing. I'm still live.
Oh, it's still live then? That's good. As long as it's swear.
My mouse has died.
Oh no.
The battery's gone. I can't click end.
Right. Should I do a dance?
Unprofessional.
Always look on the bright side of life. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Always look on the bright side of life.
Unbelievable.
When life's a piece of... I can't say.
I might as well do a couple of comments, haven't I?
So this is the equivalent of the X-Men at the end credits, and this is the bloopers at the end, isn't it? This is our own bloopers.
I'll charge the mouse up, eh?
I think you should just charge the battery up.
I'll charge the battery up.
All these people are getting 15 minutes more John Williams.
Yeah, look at this bonus time. Oh, look at
bonus
Willie.
Time.
Willie living life on the edge. Unplug the computer. You can't just do that. You can't just unplug it. This is my baby. That's bad for it. Jenny's laughing. Everybody's laughing.
Stop Ian singing.
That's a good point. Right, I have a mouse again. Oh, no,
can I go now?
Yeah, you can. Right, thank you very much, everybody.
I'll say it again.
We'll see you next time.
Next time.
Bye.
Bye.